Hello and welcome to another ARCHLine.XP tutorial with Hendrik. In today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to actually download the ARCHLine.XP template pack, how to install it, and how to use it. Right, so let's get to it. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to actually download the template pack. Okay, so the template pack you can find on our website, archlinexp.com.au. And you want to head over here to resources, right? And you can just click over here, and you can click, or you can click over here. But essentially, what that's going to give you is a full 2D drawing set, plans, elevations, etc. And it's also going to give you the 3D CAD BIM template content. Okay, so that will be, brick walls, slabs, timber floors, columns, garage doors, etc. Okay, so let's get straight to it. I'm just going to go cancel because I've already downloaded this. So now I'm going to show you how to import it. All right, so let's just start here in a new project. Okay, here I already have some walls, but I'll show you how to import it now. Right, now let's go back to the folder. Okay, so you'll have the folder here, and all you need to do is if you have like a zip reader, you need to install that. Typically the one that I use is WinRAR, but anyways, you want to just drag this into a folder, and then you want to right click here and you want to extract. Okay, so once you've extracted it, it's going to show all these files. Right, now the one that we're going to open is this one. Okay, so you just want to open this in ARCHLine. So that's going to be your project template. So that's going to have all the sheets, etc. ready to go. Okay. Right, so we have our template pack right here, and you can see on the right hand side there's about 20 or so sheets that you can use. Right now there's there's some ungrouped sheets and symbols right here that you can use. Okay, so this is your title blocks. There's an A3 title block with a vertical symbol right there, and there's a horizontal title block. Okay, so you can use your own and you can add your own variables. Okay, or what you can do is, since these are all linked, okay, let's just go through and have a look at these title blocks. Right, let's go. So location plan, you're going to get a drawing list as well as a title block. So as you can see, this is auto-filled. So all you need to do to actually update these title blocks is to go to File, BIM, Project Parameters, and Enter. Okay, so you want to fill in your own project information here. Right, so your project name, your project number, building size, status of your project. So here you want to put in the address. Okay, your client name, client address, architect name, and some other information right here. Okay, you want to enter your phone, mobile, etc., etc. And then these are just the drawing labels. So you can change these according to what you need. And you can also add your own if you go down here. Okay, so that's how that works essentially. Right now, how I created these sheets for you is I went down into these title sheets. Okay, and I just basically placed those. They're essentially like a placeholder. Okay, so these automatically get filled out once you place a sheet. Right, so how do we actually place a variable? You just go to plot layout, create plot stamp, and variables. Okay, now you can choose from any of these things that you've entered, any of these variables. So for example, project name, we'll put that in. Okay, and we'll put that as 2 millimeters, right? You can, put this wherever you want. If you decide you needed more information on these sheets, you can actually add that. Okay, but essentially all it is it's just text. Okay, nothing fancy. It's just text that has a placeholder. So as you can see, I've already placed some other ones for you. So essentially all of this is ready to go. This is just here if you want to create your own particular plot stamps. Like if you have something that you think should be different from this, you can actually create that. Now, how do you create it? Okay, that's fairly simple. You just highlight over your sheet, hold Shift, and just make sure you select just the title block itself. Okay, then you go to Documentation, Plot Layout, Create Plot Stamp, and New Plot Stamp. Now you can also import, your old title blocks as a DWG, and you can put this into a sheet. Okay, but essentially you just need to select the reference points in the corners and like that. Okay, and you can save this. I recommend you save it in the Australian folder. Okay, and you can just label this whatever. Okay, and then you can save it. Right after you save it, just make sure to undo so that it goes back to this. It's not going to undo the fact that you've already saved it to your library. So the reason why is because this is here in case you need to come back and actually edit this. Okay, when you save your project, for example, when you want to start working in a project, this is a template. So you don't want to actually overwrite in this template because you want to be able to use this template as a blank template every time. Okay, so for example, let's say I work on a townhouse for Mary. Okay, so I'll just go save, and I'm going to save this as townhouse for Mary Seidler or something. Okay, so you want to keep this blank, right? Now you want to put, like I said, you want to put your project parameters in there. Now the other things that we've added is a symbol. So this is a view symbol. Right now, if you go through these sheets, you'll see that everything is basically set up and ready for you to go. Okay, now we've added all these view symbols and we've added like the title blocks. Okay, now the only thing is when you update these project parameters, right, when you update these, you just need to make sure that you delete the sheet like that. Okay, and then you can place it. So you go drafting, group, insert group, go to groups, printing, and Australian. Okay, and you just have to place it again. So I'll just go ahead and place this one. Okay, you just need to select a corner and then it's going to automatically fill this out. Okay, like that. And then you just need to fill in a drawing title. So I'll go ground floor. Okay, drawing number, I'll go A101. So this is the typical Australian drawing convention that that we typically follow. So we've also set up the section symbols for you. So there's essentially not too much you have to do. So everything is ready to go. Okay, now I'm just going to undo that and okay. Okay, and your sections will also be ready to go. So you can see here we have some nice sections laid out. So essentially when you create something, okay, so we'll go to a ground floor, right? That's over here. Right, we also have some walls over here just for you to sort of visually see what they look like and a little schedule of the different walls that we've added. So we fixed up the different appearances, so the sections and the floor plans, but okay, let's just have a look at these ones that we've added. Right, so let's say you start drawing, okay, everything is fine. Now all you have to do when you start your drawing is when you go back to the sheet, you can just right click and you can go refresh this. and it will update your sheet. Okay, and there's not much you have to do. So everything is ready to go. Okay, now one other thing is right here. If you go right click and go to properties, you'll see here that we've already set up the structural properties for you. Okay, now obviously you can change these according to what you need, but this is sort of a standard layout. Okay, you can change your wall heights right here. And the other thing that you need to look at is your bottom of structure. So basically, this is just going to be your slab thickness. If you have a 200 mil slab, you need to input 200 mils. Okay, that will also apply to your other floors. All right, top of structure will be your RL level. Okay, and what you're going to input down here is your AHD. So that is Australian height datum. All right, so now we've gone through the 2D, and you can sort of see how all of this is set up so that you can just easily start in a new project. Okay, here we have the wall types and the section properties, so all the hatches, all that sort of stuff. Now the other thing that you want to do is when you download the template file, okay, we need to go and import. I'll just close this. Okay, you want to go ahead and you want to import the project standards. Okay, so for that you just need to go here to settings. Okay, and you want to go here to to open and save. Okay, and then you want to go transfer settings from one computer to another, and you'll just go edit. Okay, and you want to import. Okay, and I'll just go browse. And I'll just go and find where I've saved that file. Okay, so that will be this one. So I've just extracted everything here. Now you can import these individually. Okay, but it's recommended that you just import everything at once, and then if there's something missing, you can just come back here and import it. Right, so let's import the environment pack. So that will be here, Australian style settings. So you want to click on this one and you want to go open, next, all data and settings, and commence. Okay, and you just want to overwrite everything right here. Okay, want to go overwrite. Okay, and you just want to go yes. All right, delete current settings and replace them with imported data. So just go yes. Okay. Yes, just override everything. Okay, now we just need to go finished and we'll just restart ARCHLine. Okay, and just make sure that you use this template project. All right, so let's go to ground floor plan so we can see. And I'm just going to minimize these ones because we don't need to see these. Okay, those will be right here in the project navigator. Okay, and I'll just go current perspective. Okay, and so these are the walls. When you import the 3D pack, so these are saved in the project file, but when you import it, you'll see your walls will appear here on the left-hand side as blue. Okay, and once you've done that, it's generally good to just work in this project. But what you can do is you can just right click here and you can go new default style for other projects. So you want to go through everything and just make sure it's a default. And that's because if you open a new project, these might be missing. So that's a reason why you have to make them a default style if you want to open basically a new blank project and start from scratch. Now, like I said, these are already available now in this project file. Okay, so the things that you're going to see is all the Australian walls, right? There will be, each wall will be editable, so you can just go edit, and you will see obviously the correct hatching. Okay, and if you click right here and you go edit compound walls, you'll see right here it has a hatch style, right? And it has, all of these are constrained, typically top of structure and bottom of structure, so that means top of slab to the bottom of the next slab, right? And the hatches here, we've actually created some Australian hatches right here that you can select from. Okay, but you don't really need to touch those because we've set that up. We've set up all the correct hatch styles for each wall. All right, and another thing that we've added is the walls now have a white fill. So if you look at these, basically, each wall has a white fill that covers anything you see underneath. So nothing will be intersecting, right? And the same thing with slabs, right? So there's some slabs that we've added as well. So we've got concrete. You can add all these ones from the styles pack, but essentially, these have a fill that you can edit, right? So let me just quickly go and create a background so that we can see the actual fill. Right, so we've got a background there and we have, okay, so you can see there's a white fill to the floors. Now you can, for this white fill, you can actually remove it so that there's just an outline and you can just click right there. Right, so if you click right there, you can adjust this fill. Okay, and okay, so basically how you change this fill is you just go right here, apply hatch on the 2D plan, and the white fill that we use for the floors is Australian white fill image. Okay, so if you click on that, it's going to have a white fill. Okay, now the other thing that you need to pay attention to is the layer settings here. Okay, so this is set to bottommost, but yeah, you want to make sure that this is at the bottom of your drawing. Okay, because if you're going to place like walls and stuff over it, the walls are set to topmost. Right, so if we go create similar, you'll see that when we place a wall, okay, it's placing over the floor, which is what you want. Now, if we place the walls right here, you'll see right here that they have a fill. Okay, now anyways, we'll just go ahead and remove this. That was just a quick example. So we've got the walls, okay, we've got the slabs, okay, we've got some timber joists and bearers, right? So how these ones work is if you go into 90 by 45, you can go edit. You just have to go to beam and block flooring. So this you want to set to 0. And here you just want to select your joists right here. Okay, so obviously these are not the correct ones. So we'll just select a rectangular profile. Okay, like this. And I believe this is 90 by 45. Okay, so 90 by 45, and you can just go ahead and save that. Right, now if we have a look at it now in the 3D, you'll see here that, okay, we need to make it 45 by 90. So just go back here, okay, make this 45, and the height here, you just make that 90. Right, so everything else has been constrained, so you don't need to do anything there. Okay, so you can see that we've added this joist floor. And if you want to see this in the 2D, you can just right click and go beams and slab. Hold on. Okay, so if you go edit, you can go here to beam and block flooring and show slab beams 2D representation. Okay, so now it's going to show like this. Right, so that's going to be the joists. Now the other one is the bearers. So all you have to do for this one, okay, you just need to place it. Just place it. Actually, we'll just place it right on top of that, like this. Okay, so as you can see, this is not the correct one. So you just want to go to edit. You want to go to beam and block flooring. Okay, you want to just make this 0, and this is 1500 for the beams. And we'll just go over here and we'll change this to 70 and the height needs to be 90. Okay, actually we'll just select a rectangular profile. Right, and we'll set the 70 and this height will be 90. Okay, and we'll just go okay, that's good. We'll just go override and activate. Right, so then all you want to do, because you can see you just need to change the direction of it. Okay, so we're just going to select this one and go to beams. Okay, go to beams and slab, span direction, and you want to move it this way. Okay, now if we have a look, right, you've got your bearers at the bottom and you've got the joists at the top. Right, now you can use this for your flooring once you've followed the process. Okay, now that will be the timber floors. Now the last one is the columns. Alright, so and drafting, you can also import the 2D blocks I was talking about. So if you go here to insert, you'll find that these are, so you've got the drawing list and you've got some markers. And down here in trees, you'll see that there's a collection of different trees that you can use in 2D. Right, we won't get into that too much. Okay, but essentially, so we've gone through the walls, the floors, and we'll just quickly look at the columns. Right, so if you click on columns, in the Australian template, the old one, so if you go down here to settings and user interface, you'll see here there's an option to click on Australian. Right, you want to make sure you're on this option. Okay, but anyways, there will be some default ones. So these are actually just the basic ones, but to import the new ones, you just go File, Import. You can head over to the file and you'll see there's concrete and steel. Okay, so for example, let's say we want to import one of these. Okay, you just want to click no to merge it and yes to overwrite. Okay, so just go okay. And then again, we'll just close ARCHLine and reopen it. Right. Okay, so we've got our columns right here, all the new ones. Okay, so that will be there. Now, the last thing you might want to do, so if you've gone here to settings and user interface Australian, right, this loads the default templates. Right now, the one that ARCHLine has loaded in has actually been updated with this content pack that we've created. right? So this one is actually the old one. So you want to, when you click on this, what we're going to do next is actually just delete some of the old styles. Okay, and there's a way to do this, right? So, right, we can see there's some default walls here, and we want to remove those. Right, so we're going to actually just remove it in the program files. Okay, so we'll just go here to our files, and you want to make sure of one thing. So File Explorer Options, you want to go into here, and you want to go to Hidden Files and Folders, Show Hidden Files, Folders, and Drives, and go Apply, and go OK. Right, the reason why we do that is because we're just going to go delete some of the default project files, some of the default styles. So go into Local Disk, Program Data, CAD Line, ARCHLine 2020, Templates, and if you're in the local Australia template, it will be in here. If you're in the English template, it will be in here. So what you got to do is go here to Local Australia, and we're just going to go into the walls, the ones that they've supplied that have recently been updated, and we're going to delete them. So you want to go into the project files, and you want to delete all of these. Okay, so just make sure you delete all of that, right? And when you go into ARCHLine, okay, let's go into this template. Right, so when you go into ARCHLine, you'll see that the new walls that you've imported will show in blue like this. Okay, what you want to do to make sure that these walls are a default style in other projects is to right click and then go new default style for other projects. Okay, so you want to make sure you do this so that when you open a new project, it's not just completely blank. Okay, so you need to override it with these new wall styles that you've imported. Okay, now anyways, after you've done that, you will have a fully working 2D and 3D template that you can use for your drawings. If you've enjoyed this episode, leave some likes and comments below to let me know what you think. And as always, I'll see you in the next episode.